explore our amazing state, so we're talking summer bucket list now. Joining us to talk about all the great places to visit this summer is Christine Castonguay with the State Office of Tourism. Christine, good morning. Thanks so much for being with us.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, first off, it has been quite the trying year with the pandemic. What activities can people take part in while they're keeping their distance, as a lot of people are still being cautious and we're heading into the busy summer season?
Absolutely. So after a year of having to say no to so much, everyone is so ready to say yes, and Connecticut is primed to deliver. From outdoor adventure to arts and culture to live events coming back on our calendars, there's really so much to do. And again, Connecticut, giving its size and its location, makes it so easy to spend less time traveling and more time enjoying what everybody loves to do. So this summer, we're going to continue to see a tremendous amount of outdoor activities, such as hiking and biking and swimming and paddleboarding at all of our state parks and beaches. We're anticipating a lot of family fun as our amusement parks and all of our family attractions are reopening. And as restrictions have been lifted and capacity is back up and running, we're going to continue to also see a lot of major sporting events and theaters opening up, in addition to some deals. I think as people start to plan their summer, it's going to be really important to look for those opportunities. Midweek in lodging and accommodations makes for a great in-state getaway for many. And we're really hoping everyone gets out and enjoys all there is to see and do.
I have a big family, so always definitely looking for those deals. So I have to ask you now, what place or activity are you most excited about visiting and taking part in now?
Yeah, so as you can imagine, there is so much to choose from, but with a family myself, being outdoors and exploring is what we love to do. We certainly have a few on our own personal bucket list this summer, specifically trying our hand at paddleboarding with Blackhall Outfitters down by the shoreline. We're going to do the rail bikes at Essex Steam Train, and you know, the list goes on. And we use, just like everyone should, ctvisit.com for all these ideas and more, and certainly taking advantage of, again, some of the attractions throughout the state. The aquariums are a great outing with families and with friends that are visiting. You have the zoo. We also have Brownstone Discovery Park, just so many places to really go explore and have fun.
Well, Christina, I am so excited, as I know a lot of people at home are, to get out there and explore and go back to the places that we loved visiting pre-pandemic. Thanks so much for being with us here on the program. We appreciate you coming on and sharing with us.